In this video, I'm going to show you my delicious chocolate, why can't I say this? Delicious chocolate doctored cake mix recipe. Hi, it's Karolyn. Welcome back to another one of my videos. And if this is your first time here and you want to see the different ways that I make and decorate cakes, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of the videos that I put out. Put out? Is that a right word? Release? Whatever. So you don't miss any of my videos. In this video, like I said before, I am, first of all, I just got a new microphone and it's plugged into my iPhone, and I hope I'm not screaming, and I hope this turns out right, but we will see. But anyway, now, like I said in the intro, this video is for a recipe for a doctored chocolate cake mix. I do prefer to use Betty Crocker over any of the other cake mixes. I just find that this produces the best product. The best outcome. I just like the way the cakes taste the best when I use Betty Crocker. You can use any of the other cake mixes if you want, but I recommend Betty Crocker. And for this recipe, I like to use the chocolate fudge. There is a recipe on the back of the box that says to use water, oil, and eggs. There goes my Philly accent, water. Water, oil, and eggs. And you're not going to use that for this recipe. So you're going to omit whatever it says on the back of the box. Just toss that out the window and pay attention to the recipe that I give you. So if you want to see how I make this amazingly delicious, moist, wonderful chocolate doctored cake mix, then just keep on watching. So my oven, I preheat at 335. I feel like you have to find what's the good temperature that works for your oven. I would say anywhere between 325 and 350. But ovens are a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Finicky. So you have to find the right temperature, which for your cakes to bake, and it's a little bit of trial and error, but I find that 335 works best for me. To make this recipe, you're going to need a cup of flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of whole milk, 1 cup of sour cream, 3 eggs, and your cake mix. The chocolate cake mix I like to use is this chocolate fudge. I have used the Devil's Food before, but I like the chocolate fudge better. This is a 15.25 ounce bag of cake mix. So I am so excited. I just got a new KitchenAid mixer for Christmas, so I get to use this one, and I don't have to plug and unplug it to turn it off and on. So excited. Anyway, so to start, I'm going to put the cup of flour and the cup of sugar in the bowl, and also the bag of cake mix. And then turn that on low to incorporate everything together. And now I'm going to add the cup of milk while this is mixing. And after that's all incorporated, I will add the cup of sour cream and mix until it's incorporated. Now that that's all mixed together, I'm going to add the eggs one at a time until those are fully mixed in as well. And since I don't have a scraper blade, I'm just going to scrape down the sides and turn the mixer on again. I have scraper blades, but I just prefer to scrape it myself. I just find that they make a big mess, and I just like to do it better this way. But if you have a scraper blade, you can skip this step. You want to make sure you don't over mix your batter. Make sure everything is incorporated and it's mixed together well, but you don't want to overbeat the batter. Now for the next step, I'm going to take my pan grease. I do have a video on how I make my pan grease. I can link that below. And I have two 5-inch pans here. I already greased one of them. So I'm going to just take this pastry brush and brush a little bit of pan grease on the bottom and up the sides of the cake pan. You don't want to use too much of this and not too little. You have to find a happy medium there where the pan is coated, but it's not overloaded with the pan grease. And then I have this heating core little flower nail here that I'm just going to paint the bottom of it and stick it right in the middle of the pan. Now I am going to just mix this up one more time, making sure that everything is scraped off of the bottom. And I'm going to add this to the cake pans. Now, I find that the chocolate cake batter does rise more than the other ones. That and the red velvet. I don't know why. I'm sure there's some science behind it. I'm not sure what is going on, but I find that if I fill the cake pans a little more than half full, then that is sufficient and it will give me good height in the cake. In the oven, I have 2 cookie sheets on the bottom. Those look disgusting, but all they are is really to catch any overspill and to help evenly distribute the heat. And I actually learned that from Sharon Zambito from Sugar Red Productions, who I love Sharon, and she has taught me so much. I'm not sure if it's necessary now with these newer ovens, but I still do it because, you know, old dog, new tricks. I just keep doing the same thing. So this oven is preheated to 335 and ready for the cakes to go in. I actually already made some confetti cake that I'm going to put in with these chocolate cakes. I do have my recipe for my yellow doctored cake mix, which the confetti just is that with rainbow jimmies added. I can link that below as well. When you place the cakes in the oven, you want to make sure there's enough airflow around all of them. You don't want the cake pans to just butt up against each other. And here we go. I will time that for about 50 minutes. And then I will check and see if they are done. Typically, the smaller cakes need about between 45 minutes and an hour, and the larger ones need between 55 minutes to an hour 10. It all depends on the size of the cake. Okay, so it's been 50 minutes, and I am going to test these with the toothpick. That one's coming out clean. This one still has needs a little time. And those vanilla ones are still need about 12 minutes. So I'm gonna take the one on the right out and leave the one on the left in for about another 3 minutes. Okay, now that I have both of these out of the oven, I'm going to turn them out onto this cooling rack. And take the flower nails that are on here. Okay, something different that I now do that I didn't do before when I filmed my last one is I wrap these up in plastic wrap immediately after taking them out of the oven and put them in the freezer. I know it may sound a little weird, but ever since I started to do this, people have commented how moist and delicious the cake is. So freezing your cake as soon as it comes out of the oven helps trap in a lot of the moisture. So what I do, I have this food safe plastic, and with my clean hands, I just take the cake and put it on top of the plastic and wrap it up like this. Do the same with the other one. And I have a freezer in here that is just totally devoted to my cakes. So I'm just going to put these directly onto the rack. I have cake box lids on the rack here, just because I don't like to put them directly onto the cold rack. So just leave them sit in there overnight, and then I thaw them and fill them. So here you go. Here is your chocolate doctored cake mix all wrapped up and ready to go in the freezer. I have some notes over here, so I'm going to keep looking down because I want to remember to say everything. Because I post the video and then I remember everything I wanted to say after the fact. So, this is a 5-inch cake. I don't think I said that in the video. So, the chocolate cakes that I did was 5-inch. The yellow ones were 7-inch. One recipe will yield probably 3 5-inch cakes. I have it down here. It's about 2 6-inch or a 7-inch and a 5-inch. And this is all round pans. I basically use round pans all the time. I do. It's like Chandler. Never mind. I do make square cakes, but most of the time I work with round cakes. If you have any extra, you can make cupcakes with it, or, you know, I end up throwing it out. I know I'm wasteful. It is what it is. I can't keep just having all these extra cakes and cupcakes and cake pops in the house. I just need to get rid of it. But you can always make cupcakes with any extra batter that you have and freeze them and save them for later. And also, like I said in the video that I did for the yellow cake mix, you can use this recipe for any box flavor. So it doesn't just have to be chocolate or yellow. You could do it for lemon, for strawberry, for any of them, adding the same ingredients per one bag of mix. So the day after I bake them and they've been sitting in the freezer overnight, I take them out of the freezer and let them sit out on the table for, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours until they thaw. And once they're not cold anymore, then I unwrap them and do my start my process of filling my cakes. You don't want to fill the cakes when they're frozen. At least I don't. But if you do and that works for you, let me know. And also, I will freeze this overnight. So I usually bake one day and then I fill the next and ice. I can link my videos on how I fill and ice my cakes down below. I'm not going to go into that into this one, but this is okay, wrapped up like this in the freezer overnight. A lot of people, it's I don't know what to say. Like, there's a stigma against cake mix cakes and there's a stigma against freezing your cakes. And I just think because people may be uninformed or they may have had a bad, a bad experience with having a cake mix or a frozen cake. However, I've had a really good experience with this, and I find that wrapping it up when it's still warm, sticking it in the freezer, it makes the cake so moist. It really is so good when you do this method. This is just what has worked for me, and I just wanted to pass it along to you, and hopefully it'll work for you too. So I really can't think of anything else. Oh God, I'm gonna sneeze. Well, luckily I wasn't touching the cake anymore and it was all wrapped up. Anyway, I really can't think of anything else that I need to say. If you have any questions, leave them below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And like always, please like this video if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and you want to see more videos like this. And you can find me on social media. I am on Instagram and Facebook, and I have my website. I will link all of that below. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!